everybody, this is Juliana and I have a project share. This has been really challenging for me to film. So I've thought of putting some audio over it, but in the end I think it's probably best that I speak. So this is my Ode to Spring journal. This winter was a bit challenging for me. Winters usually are. My mood goes south. Actually, I wish I could fly south for the winter, but something unusual happened this spring, which happens pretty much every spring. But when I started to see the flowers blossoming and the birds chirping outside my New York City window. I live in Brooklyn, and we didn't have a really hard winter. I started to really think about the beauty of spring, and it reminded me of how much my mother, who's passed away a long time ago, loved the spring because it meant seeing her flowers starting to bloom and putting the seeds in the ground. So what I've come up with here is I'm going to try to stay in focus. It's got fabric on the cover. The top panel of fabric, I was inspired by this woman, and I'm going to put a link below. Her name is Nicole B. She does very minimal journals, and that was my first intention. But of course, like most of us who make junk journals, you just get overzealous and excited, and you want to throw everything in the kitchen sink into the journal. And so, of course, what happened? A little bit of gator mouth going on, and I had to pull out some of the journaling cards that I made. So let me get on with the technical, the practical details. The top is I don't know if you can see, but there's a dart here. This was a woman's shirt that I found on the street, because I'm always finding my best things on the streets of Brooklyn. The bottom shirt is my partner and girlfriend Victoria's shirt that she was going to give away, and I thought it was perfect. The little gingham was really cute. I inherited a lot of fabric and books, vintage books and ephemera, from my partner's family in Connecticut. We share a home out there, and so this is curtain fabric, and then on the side is another curtain with the rings still on it. It's linen, and so I'm going to hang a charm eventually from it. And just to show you close up, here's let me see, it goes into focus, good. Is a glass milk button, milk glass button that I've sewed on to lace, vintage lace. And this amazing image, of these two women. It says June and I. Let me see if I can bring it in a little closer. 1944, and it's a scanned version, and I wanted to use it because it just, two girls together, reminded me of me and my partner. So the tie around wrap, the closure, is just a sari ribbon that I dyed a couple nights ago. And on the back is this really kitschy, adorable patch of these deers. And I got that from an Etsy seller. And there's another one inside that you'll see. So let's go inside. And I'm still in frame. Okay. So, all right, I'm just going to flip through. Tried this a couple times. So on your left is this adorable patch of this little girl babushka. This is a fabric pocket that I made. This is also from the shirt that I found on the street, with some burlap and a journaling card. And this first page is pretty amazing. This says The Gems of Beauty, and it was from a book that I got from my father-in-law. from 1850, and I actually just scanned it and used it as the opening page. So there's a lot in here, so I might flip through, and when I do, if you have any questions, please ask me. I can tell you the papers that I used were pink Paisleee. I used some of Vintage Bee and Botany and Whimsy from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Unfortunately, I wanted to incorporate it more, but it really didn't fit in with the other papers. And I think I used some Prima. And I did a lot of collaging. Like this is from Debbie Ann Parent of Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is one of her cutouts. So, this book page is from a 1920s book that when my neighbors moved, they got rid of a lot of vintage books, and I got a whole nature series. And there was one on birds, there was one on butterflies, was one on flowers. So they're all in here, and I created these hinges and I sewed it. I don't know if you can see that, to the hinge, so I wouldn't lose out on one page by adhering it. Again, if you have any questions, please ask. This is from this was also a gift from a 1970s dictionary for the letter B, so these are B's. This is from the digital download, Vintage Queen Bee from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. They're beautiful papers, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to really give them more of a showcase in this project, but they really just didn't match with the rest of the stuff. So I've put them in as little papers to journal on, so you can see they open up like this. They're beautiful. So here's the next page, and I've sewn on, let me see if I can bring that into focus. I've sewn on all the cards. And I'm a novice sewer, so this was really a learning experience for me. I made lots of mistakes in this project. This is fabric with lace and some frayed burlap trim. This is Tim Holtz. I used some vellum from his collection. Fussy cut. And this folds out. And this is incredible. This is a letter at the top. I won't turn around, but it says July 4th, 1945. And it's really bad condition. For those of you who want to save things and archive them, try not to do what my father-in-law Larry did, which was put paper clips on them, because they will rust in time, and as you can see, damage the paper. Of course, it adds to the character. But this was in pretty bad shape. It had bled a lot. You can still read it. But I thought, okay, I can use this. And I just glued it down to craft paper and then sewed around it. These are cute little bugs. This is a pocket. This is some lace on the side. This is this amazing bird washi tape that I bought. More vellum. This is from the Nature series. Another fold-out journaling paper. These are rub-ons down here. I didn't stamp on anything. I used rub-ons. And this is absolute, so these are little side tucks and I put lace along them. This is absolutely adorable. This is, I bought this from a store called Soviet Vintage Soul or something like that. And this is an actual Soviet postcard. And over here, so everything's been coffee dyed. This flips out and you see this beautiful woman harvesting the fruits of her hard labor. This is a piece from a journaling kit from Debbie Ann Parent. Amaryllis, one of my favorite flowers. And this adorable little bird who wants to be fed. This is from a 70s natural series books that I found at the local dump in Connecticut. I'm just very fortunate. I have some, what I say to people is I have really good paper karma. Paper and good stuff, just I get it for free. And I don't know why in this lifetime that has happened, but that's the case. So this is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And this flips out, and this is this really beautiful love poem to one of the women in the book that I used from the 1850s. Some birds, and this, I put some lace on the side. I definitely learned a lot in this project. Again, what are these? These are hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas. They're so beautiful. I wish they had a fragrance, but they don't. But they're so lovely. This is the wrapping paper. I just love the sound of it from that Russian. Came all the way from Russia. I got these some interesting Soviet postcards, communist postcards. Little tuck spot with some ripped edge of a lace. This is made out of wax paper, and it opens up. It's supposed to mimic a seed bag, and it's got a seed company on it. I hope that's coming into focus. Okay. By the way, I made these really cute little paper clips. Yep. And those are from the scraps from the shirt that I ripped up and used for this book. A little pocket with a cardinal bird. I think that's a red cardinal. One of my favorite vegetables, cabbage. I had to have that in there because I eat it almost every day. Raw cabbage, I love it. Another tuck spot. And these are I forgot to use Marion Smith. Why is her name not coming to me? Anyway, this is her download. And I created these pockets with fabric doilies that I sewed on and made little pockets. So there are pockets on each side. And the papers that I put inside are from the Nature series. And I put it on a hinge. This is a homemade scrap of a trim paper clip. This is a glassine bag that I painted with Derwent Inktense blocks to get that color, and it flips out. This is more of that wrapping paper, and I put lace on the side, and I love the irony of using junk materials and then putting something as lovely as lace on it. It's kind of an interesting juxtaposition. More vellum, beautiful birds. Another tuck spot. And this is this amazing picture that lithograph from the 1850s book about, they were love stories about these different women in the book. And I won't tear apart. This book was in bad condition. The spine had fallen apart. So I really didn't have a problem using these pictures, and I stitched along the sides. But I don't think I could use real pictures because I'm a photographer. That's a different story. I have to think twice about that. This is a pocket. Oh, and there's something inside. Nothing really interesting. It says Anatomy of an Insect. I wish I had more bug pictures. Here's the tuck spot. Let's see. Oh, this is this cute little boy. I bought this in Turkey. And I think it's really just a Xerox of a picture from a children's book. This cute little bunny rabbit paper doll. There's some really sweet trim on the side. This is a ledger paper also from the 1800s that I bought on Etsy. And I adhered it to scrapbook paper to give it more sturdiness, and it's from 1888. This is also from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Little cabbage. Yes. Oh no, it's a cauliflower. Yummy cauliflower. Here's a journaling card. I don't know why it's in there like that, but there it is. More of this amazing washi tape. I actually spent $9 for it. That's kind of out of my budget. So here's another one of those Marion, I forgot her, I think it's Smith is her last name, with a doily. These also came from the barn in Connecticut, and they were not in great condition. I have a little journaling card. Lots of visuals in this book. So this comes out, and this is the ledger paper on the other side. And this is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, this beautiful collaging of flowers. Little girl. Little bumblebee pocket. And then this flips out, and this is another poem that I put in. Actually, the poetry in the book from the 1850s, the one called Gems of Beauty, was somewhat like, I would imagine back in those days, was like a Harlequin novel. It was a little cheesy, very romantic. Maybe it was meant for women more than men. So here's another pocket. And this is a vintage from the government sent to my father-in-law with a rub-on, and this beautiful Ephemera's Vintage Garden image that I made into a journaling card. This is a vintage birthday card to my father-in-law. His name is Larry, to Larry's sister Anne. I have so much. This summer we're going to be going through all his stuff, and eventually I plan to make, he was in World War II, so I'm hoping to make a really beautiful collage scrapbook of all the papers, and the family is letting me do that. He just saved everything. He took paper hoarding to a whole new extreme. Love these bugs. They're so cute. I have a thing for bugs. So, butterfly pocket. Other side of the card. Getting to the end. Other side of and here's a little upside down envelope tuck spot. Oh, and I had these really nice flowers that I got, these stickers of flowers that I got inexpensively, and I decorated, you might have seen throughout the book. This is vellum paper with bugs on it, and then the back is a pocket. Well, first let me show you the last inside page has this fabric pocket with lace and fringe. This really adorable card. I'm hoping this comes into focus. And this is an extra goodie. I got this from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and it's just a small little book of scraps, as you all know. And on the side, if you look, you can see what a bad sewer I am. But I loved all this fraying and stuff, so I decided it really made a nice part to it. I don't know if you can tell by looking at the book through this video, but there's a lot of strings hanging everywhere. Oops, this goes over in here. So yeah, this is the back, and that's it. And then one last thing I wanted to show you is this was the spine. This is too dark. Anyway, it says 1850, and it says 1850, and I'm going to turn that into a bookmark, but I haven't done that yet. So that's the share, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Try to upcycle when you can. Oh, by the way, underneath the fabric are Hannah Montana pages from a book. They were great cardstock, so who knows what lies beneath so many things in this world. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.